Hello, this is Reminiscible. I'm going to attempt to answer, I think, one of the most, from my perspective, one of the most important unanswered questions. So, this is new for me, but I thought of this way of visualizing reality. This, I want a straight line. Okay. This line is everything that we can physically observe about the universe. This line up here is everything we can, oops, why is it green? Sorry, I want brown and green. I'm just choosing colors I like. This next line is everything that we can deduce about the universe. All right? This is everything that can be deduced about the universe. It's reliant on observations, so we see, we can deduce the law of, we can make like laws of the universe. So we observe a phenomenon, and then we deduce why the phenomenon happens. If I drop a pencil on the floor, I can observe it fall, and then I can deduce the rate of change of its falling according to physics. Or I can see a cell, and I can deduce the components of that cell and how the cell works and how that fits into like chemistry, like how biology fits into chemistry. I can make deductions about the universe. And lastly, this last and final line, maybe not the final line, but for the sake of my argument, this line is everything we can predict about the universe. So, this line is everything we can predict. I'm attempting to define consciousness, okay? This line is everything we can deduce, i.e. a mathematical proof of a physical phenomenon, i.e. mathematical proof of a physical phenomenon, right? So maybe we predict something. Let's say they're interrelated. They're tied together. Everything we can physically observe, like with the five senses. Okay, so we observe something. We deduce maybe it works like this. We predict how it will work according to this model. If it works, then we can say, yeah, this is the deduction. This is how this observation we have, this is how it works. If it goes according to our, if all of these three are in, if all of these three are in conjunction, then we say, if all the three match, then we say reality. Reality. If the three layers correspond. If three layers match. If if observations match predictions and deductions. Deductions is like a financial term. Predictions and theories. Theorems. And scientific theories. Okay. Reality is a bit more complicated than that. So reality is pretty complicated. Reality is just everything. Okay. Everything's true. Everything that is true. Okay? So there are subjective truths, and within reality, those subjective truths exist with the tag that they are subjective truths. And there are objective truths which exist, and whether or not they're observed or not, they are true because that is there is a physical manifestation of this microphone. This microphone, you don't observe it. I don't see the microphone, but I know there's a microphone. And whether or not that microphone is on or off, the microphone still exists. Okay? It happens to be on. I can deduce that because I observe that this little bar is moving. Okay. So maybe you've predicted there's a microphone. If the prediction, the deduction, the observation are in conjunction, then it's probably real. Okay? It's probably real. The microphone is probably real. You can hear it. I can show you the little bar moving when I talk. You've predicted it's real. All three match. It's probably real. Okay? Probably. I say that. I'm not sure. There's an uncertainty attached. Okay? Uncertainty attached when making observations and deductions. Okay? There's an uncertainty, a level of uncertainty. Now, what is consciousness? So, this is the most important part. Okay. To me, consciousness is a state of existence. If you are conscious, then you are aware of existing. You are aware of existing. You're not aware that you exist, you're just aware of existing. There's no I, it's just exist. Like, you have these, you have your physical well-being. Sorry. Okay. You have your physical well-being. And this is existing. It's just a state. It doesn't have to be an awareness attached. It's just existing. Okay, existing, and I define existing as it has to be a first-person perspective of existing. Okay, so existing in first person. All right. So let's say, let me give an example of existing. So for example, when you exist, you have stimuli. Okay, so the stimuli from for the physical observations feed into your existence, right? This is the stimuli. So it can be from your nerves or whatever. And then you have your mental well-being. Now, I'm not sure where that goes. It's kind of in between the two, right? So I'm going to say subjective thoughts. Oops. So I'm going to put subjective thought. Where should I put it? Predict, deduce, observe. I'm going to put subjective thought over here. This is subjective thought. Okay, so this ties in with mental well-being. So when you have subjective thought, when you have neurons firing in your mind, they can be programmed or they can be biological. Doesn't make a difference to me. And you have physical stimuli, then you receive the state of existing, right? You have stimuli, you're processing them, you exist. But there's another layer of existence, and that is self-awareness. I want it centered. So this is self-awareness. So I'm getting to what consciousness is. Okay. So if you exist and you're aware of your own existence, then you can also have self-awareness. With me so far? That is when you are aware that you exist. Okay? So I think, therefore I am, right? I think, therefore I am. I feel, therefore I exist. There is observables, therefore there must be a reality. That I observe physical stuff, therefore there must be some truth that there physical stuff exists, okay? I have subjective thoughts, therefore I must have an existence, right? So let's actually include that. I'm going to just include here that an individual's perspective, okay? So there are individuals' perspectives, and this is called descriptive moral relativism, which basically says that people have opinions, okay? That's what descriptive moral relativism is, that people have opinions and they may agree or disagree, but regardless, everyone has their opinions. And with moral relativism, you can compare opinions and say, well, maybe this perspective is good, maybe someone else's perspective is better. So maybe the best perspective is a compromise between the two, weighted towards the better perspective, you know? Like, oh, my husband cheated on me, but he says he didn't cheat on me, so maybe I should have an uncertainty and actually check to see if he cheated on me. Or, oh, that's fictional. Like, I think that the best food is prickly pear cactus. No, I think that the best food is watermelon. These are two perspectives. Maybe the compromise is prickly pear is a good food, but mango is also a good food, and it is possible that mango is the better food. But these are both subjective perspectives, so you would have to weigh across all individuals in existence, and the favorite, right? Like the ranked choice ballot system, or basically, I think this is maybe a little bit of a ludicrous example, but let's say there are three humans in existence. One's favorite food is, I'll write it down. One's person, so there's three people in existence. I'm explaining moral relativism, descriptive moral relativism. So person A says, mango is my favorite food, followed by avocado, followed by prickly pear. Person B says, prickly pear is my favorite food, followed by wine. And the third food is chocolate. And person C says, you are both incorrect. The best food in existence is, I don't know, apple pie, followed by, no, sorry, apple pie with, I don't know, stuff, okay? Followed by vanilla ice cream. Okay, let's see this. Apple pie with vanilla ice cream, followed by vanilla ice cream, followed by tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. That's like the mini tomatoes you get in salads. They are delish. Okay, so these three people, they have their perspectives. And let's say I'm going to assign random numbers. This is like, nah. This is like the weighting of like how important these foods are to them, okay? Up to, I'm just making up numbers as I go along. Hopefully they add up to 100. Okay. Okay. So, significant digits aside, we add these up and we see, well, prickly pear gets 77%. Apple pie with vanilla ice cream, not even accounting for vanilla ice cream, gets, let's say, let's add half of this, because vanilla ice cream is like half of that. Or what portion of the vanilla ice cream contributes to the apple pie? Is it like 10%, 40%? Say 40%. So 40% of this 0.6, let's add that in. 0.24. So let's say 24. I don't have underline. If I had underline, I'd underline these so we know there's not significant digits. Okay, so apple pie with vanilla ice cream goes up there. And then the runner-up is mango with 53%, right? So we added up the totals. We added up the totals. And this is descriptive moral relativism. Or let's just say relativism, because I don't think that's really an ethical standpoint. So prickly pear is the second best food, followed by apple pie with vanilla ice cream, followed by mango, according to these three people in existence, okay? That's descriptive relativism, and you can extend that to more than three people. So, that's what I mean when I say an individual's perspective. There's multiple perspectives, you know? So, what is consciousness? I think consciousness is the red one. This is the red one. This is what consciousness is, the red one. Okay? That's consciousness. Get it? Yeah, we good? Definition of consciousness. So consciousness is just existing. You deduce that it's just the state of existence. It's a deduction from the physical stimuli and having thoughts. There's the deduction that just exist. You know, like am, not even am. Okay, this is am, and this is like to be, right? I am, and then this is like to be, and this is like feeling, not even feelings. I don't even know where to put emotions, but this is like pain, sight, hunger, love, touch, right? And then this is like, there's, I guess, emotions. Should I lump emotions in here? I don't know where to put emotions. But I think this red one is consciousness. So consciousness is actually inferior, I think, to self-awareness, depending on how much of an ableist you are for seeing intelligent people as more important than worms and insects, and you guessed it. I won't go on. Um, but I think people with a high cognitive abilities, high functioning cognitive abilities, I consider them more people than just babies and mentally disabled people who exist, because I can actually interact with people who are self-aware. I can't interact with people who are not self-aware. Okay? So, but that's so for me, this part is what I define as a person, and you need to have some, I think for a person to exist, or for me to define someone as a person, you actually need to have cognitive abilities, okay? So this is cognitive abilities. Okay. So for me, you need cognitive abilities in order to be a person. And there are multiple perspectives, other perspectives, you know? So that's an idea. That's a hypothesis on what consciousness is. It's a state of just receiving stimuli and having thoughts. That's to me, and like the mental state of of being, of of processing stimuli. Okay? So consciousness is the mental state of processing stimuli. There. That's my hypothesis. And I hope you agree with me. But what I define as a person, what I define as a person is this part. I enjoyed making this video. Thank you for watching.